Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to solve Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics Paper 4 Extended in a session February-March 2023 Paper 4-2. So let's start with the first question. Question number 1, part A. Number 1, Alan and Beatrice share $750 in the ratio Alan ratio Beatrice is 8:7. Show that Alan receives $400. Okay. So we have to find for Alan, right? So Alan has 8. Out of the total is 8 plus 7 times by the share is 750. Okay, so this is 8 out of 8 plus 7 is 15 times 750. Okay, 8 divides 15 times 750. This is $400. Right. Now for the second part A, Alan shares spends $150, right? $150 as a percentage of 400. So 150 out of 400 times by 100 as a percentage. So 150 divides 400 times 100. This is 37.5%. Now for part B, he invests the remaining $250 at a rate 2% per year, simple interest. Okay, calculate the amount Alan has at the end of 5 years. The interest rate is given and the remaining is $250. Okay, so we have to find out the amount. The formula is A equals to P into 1 plus RT. Right, we have to find the amount. The investment is $250. Into 1 plus the interest rate is 2%, which is 2 by 100 times the time is 5 years. Okay, let me calculate. So this is 2 by 100 times by 5, add 1 and times by 250. This is $275. The amount is $275. Right. Now for the third part, Beatrice invests her $350 at a rate of 0.2% per month compound interest. Calculate the amount Beatrice has at the end of 5 years. Give your answer correct to the nearest dollar. So let me use a formula for compound interest, which is A equals to P into 1 plus R. Its power is T. We have to find out the amount, and the investment is $350 into 1 plus the interest rate is 0.2%, so 0.25 over 100, and the time, so the time is in 5 years, but here we have given the months, right? So how many months are in 5 years? So 5 times 12, because 1 year has 12 months, so 5 years has 5 times 12, which is 60 months. Right, so the power is 60. All right, so let me simplify. 0.25 divides 100, add 1, exponent is 60 and times by 350, which is 406.56. 406.56. We have to round our answer to the nearest dollars, which is $407. Right. Now for part B, Carl, Dana and Eva shares 100 oranges. Okay. The ratio Carl's oranges, Dana's oranges are 3:5. The ratio Carl's oranges and Eva's oranges are 2:3. Find the number of oranges Carl receives. Right. Okay, so let me calculate for Carl and Dana, which is given, which is 3:5. And for Carl and Eva, which is 2:3. Okay, so for Carl, we have to make them same by multiplying this by 2 and multiplying this by 3. So 2 times 3 is 6 and 2 times 5 is 10. And here we have 2 times 3 is 6 and 3 times 3 is 9. right? So we have to calculate for Carl, so it should be same, it's 6, right? So to find the number of oranges Carl receive are 6 out of total, which is 6 plus 10 plus 9, multiply the total oranges are 100, right? So let me calculate this, which is 6 plus 10 plus 9, and 6 divides 25 and times by 100, which is 24 oranges Carl receives. Now for part C, Fred buys a house. At the end of first year, the value of house increased by 5%. At the end of second year, the value of house increased by 3% of its value at the end of the first year. The value of Fred's house at the end of second year is $60,564. Calculate how much Fred paid for the house. Okay, so let us consider that Fred buys a house of X dollar, right? Fred buys a house of X dollars, right? So at the end of first year, the value of house increased by 5%. So it is increased by 5%, which means X times 5% of X, right? Okay, and let me simplify. This is X into 1 plus 0.05. Right now, at the end of second year, the value of house is increased by 3% of its value at the end of the first year, right? So it is increased by 3%, means of this value. So 3% is 3 over 100, right, of this value, which is 1.05x plus that value 1.05x, right? Okay, now we have to calculate the value of the, okay, this is given, right? So at the end of the second year, we have given the value, which is 60,564. This should be equals to 3% of which is 0.03 times 1.05x, right, and plus 1.05x. So this would be equals to, if I take 1.05x as a common, we are left with 0.03 plus 1, and this is 1.05x into 1.03, right? And further simplification, that would be 1.03 times 1.05, 1.0815, 1.0815x. We have to find how much he paid for the house. We have to find the x basically. Okay, so x would be 60,564, divide that value 1.0815. okay, 60564 divides answer. This would be 56,000. So he paid for the house is 56,000. Now for part D, Gabriel invests $500 at a rate of R% per year compound interest. At the end of 8 years, the value of Gabriel's investment is $609.20. Find the value of R. So it is a compound interest. So use the formula A equals to P into 1 plus R, its power is D, right? So we have given the investment is this much, sorry, at the end of 8 years, yes, this is the amount, which is 609.20, and the investment is 500 into 1 plus R% is R over 100, and T is 8 years. Now we have to just solve for solve for R, right? So let me divide both sides by 500. 609.20 divide by 500 equals to 1 plus R over 100. Its exponent is 8. right? 609.20 divides 500. This is 1.2184 equals to 1 plus r over 100. Its power is 8, right? Taking 8th root on both sides. So 1.2184 is 1 by 8, and this would be 1 plus r over 100, right? Okay, so its power would be 1 divides 8 is this much. So I can say 1.0249 is 1 plus r over 100. Now subtracting 1.0249 subtract 1, this would be r over 100, and then we have to multiply by subtract 1, 0.0249, this should be multiplied by 100 to get the r value, right? So times by 100, this is 2.499, 2.499, or if I can round this is 2.5 is the interest rate r. Question number 2, part A. 100 students take part in a reaction test. The table shows the results. Reaction test in seconds and number of students. Number 1, write down the mod. Mod is the most repeated frequency. 3, 32, 19, 29, 11, 6. So 32 is the most repeated frequency. So the mod is 7 seconds. Right. Now for the second part, find the median. Median is the middle value of the data. Since the numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they are even, right? So the formula of median is n plus 1th term divided by 2. Right. So n is 100. So we can say 100 plus 1 divided by 2. We have to calculate this value. 101 over 2 is 50.5. So we have to find 50.5th value, right? So for this we have to add the numbers, right? So the first one is 3. So in 3, if you add 32, 3 plus 32 makes 35. It not lies here. So now let's add 19. 19 is 54. So when you add 19, so it lies in 8th second. 50.5th value lies in the range of 8. Right, this is the median. Now for the part 3, calculate the mean. The formula for mean is sum of fx divided by the total. Right. This is the frequency f, and x is this. Now let me find the product of fx. 3 times 6 is 18. 7 times 32 is 224. 8 times 19 is 152. 9 times 29 is 261. 10 times 11 is 110. 11 times 6 would be 66. Let me add all of them. So this should be 18 plus 224 plus 152 plus 261 plus 110 plus 66. Okay, so this would be 831 divided by the total are 100 students. So this is 8.31. The mean is 8.31 seconds, right? Now for the fourth part, 2 students are chosen at random out of 100 students. Find the probability that both their reaction times are greater than or equals to 9 seconds. Greater than or equals to 9 seconds. Greater than or equals to 9 seconds. So the 9 seconds frequencies are 29, 11, and 16. So let me add them up. 29 plus 11 plus 6, sorry. This is 46, right? So let's say the first student, 2 students are chosen at random. So we need to find the probability that both of their reaction time is greater than or equals to 9 seconds. So the first student is 46 out of 100. and the next left are 45 out of 99. This is the probability. Now let me calculate 46 divides 100. 46 divides 100 and times it by 45 divides 99. This is 23 over 110. The probability is 23 over 110, right? Now moving to part B, the box and whisker plot shows the height at centimeter of some students, right? Now the first part is find the range. Range is the difference between the higher value and the lower value, right? So the higher one is 151, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 158 is the higher one. Subtract the lower one is 110. Okay, so it's 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 105, right? So 158 minus 105, this is 53. So the range is 53 centimeters. The second part, find the interquartile range. Interquartile range is upper quartile, subtract the lower quartile. So this is the upper quartile, which is 142, and this is the lower quartile, which is 122, right? So let me calculate this. 142 subtract 122. This is 20. Let me double check. 142 subtract 122 is 20. Yes. So the interquartile range is just 20. Now for part C, the mass of each of 200 potatoes is measured. The table shows the results, the mass in grams and the frequency. Number 1, calculate an estimate of the mean. Mean is again sum of fx divided by the total. So total number of potatoes are 200. This is f. Now x is the midpoint of these intervals, right? So let me calculate the midpoint, which is 50 plus 110 divided by 2 is 80, right? 110 plus 200 divided by 2 is 155, and 200 plus 300 divided by 2 is 250, right? Now let me calculate the product of fx, which is 80 times 60, 4,800, right? 99 times 155, 15,345, 41 times 250, which is 10,250. All right, let me add them up. So add 15,345 and add 4,800. Okay, so this should be 30,395 divided by the total number of potatoes at 200. So this is 151.975. 151.975 is the estimated mean value, right? Now for the second part, complete the histogram to show the information in the table. So on horizontal axis, we have given the masses in grams between 50 to 110. So it's done. 50 to 110. We have to do 110 to 200 and 200 to 300, right? And we need the frequency densities, right? So we know that frequency density is equals to frequency over the class width, right? So we have the frequencies. Let me find out the class width. Let me draw the column for frequencies. Frequencies are 60, 99, and 41. We have 3 frequencies, right? Now the class width, right? So the first interval is between 50 to 110. So the class width is 110 minus 50. 110 subtract 50, which is 60. And the frequency density is frequency over class width. This is just 1. So this is already done, right? Now the second interval is 200 minus 110, which is 90. So the frequency over the class width 99 divides 90 is 1.1, right? The next class width is 300, take away 200 is just 100, and the frequency density is 41 over 100, which is 0.41. All right, now let me complete it. So this is the second interval is between 110 to 200, which is 1.1. So we have 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. Yes, this is 1.1 till 200. Draw the line. This is for second interval. The third interval is between 200 to 300. It is 0.41. Okay, so this is 0 and this is 0.5, right? So this is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, little bit above 0.4. So we can say this is 0.4 over here. Okay, this is the histogram. Question number 3. The diagram shows a cylinder containing water. There is a solid metal sphere touching the base of a cylinder. Half of a sphere is in the water. So it means a semi-sphere is in the water. The radius of a cylinder is 12 centimeter and the radius of sphere is 3 centimeter. Right? Part A, the sphere is removed from the cylinder. Okay, and the level of water is decreased by h centimeter. Show that h is 0.125 and the volume of a sphere is given. This is the volume of a sphere. Okay, so we have given that the sphere is removed from the cylinder. So it means from the volume of a cylinder, if we subtract the volume of this hemisphere, we will get the volume of new volume of a cylinder, which is decreased by h, right? So it means volume of cylinder subtract the volume of hemisphere, this will be the volume of a new cylinder, right? So volume of a cylinder is pi r square h. Volume of hemisphere is half 4 by 3 pi r cube equals to pi r square h, right? So we have pi. The radius of cylinder we have given is 12 square and the height of this cylinder is 3, minus this would be 2 by 3 pi times 3 cube. This would be pi and the radius stays the same, which is 12, and the height we have to find, right? Okay, now let me cancel pi throughout the equation, taking pi common on both sides, and we can easily cancel it out. Further simplification, we have 12 square times 3 is 432. Okay, 3 cube times 2 by 3 is 18. Subtract 18, this would be equals to 144 pi. 144 times the height, right? 432 subtract 18 divides 144. This would be the height, which is 2.875 centimeters, right? Okay, and we have given the information that the level of water is decreased by h centimeter, right? Before the level of water is 3, right? And after the level is 2.875. So it means the h value is the difference of 3 and 2.875. So 3 subtract answer, which is 0.125. So it is proved that the height is 0.125. 0.125 centimeters, right? Now for part B, the water in the cylinder is poured into another cylinder of radius r centimeter. The depth of the water in the cylinder is 18 centimeter. Calculate the value of r. Okay. Now the water in the cylinder is poured into another cylinder. So it means first we have to find the volume of the old cylinder, which is pi r square h, which is pi. The radius of a cylinder we have given is 12 centimeter, and the height of a cylinder when the sphere is removed, the height is 3, and now it is subtract 0.125. That will be the height. So from 3 we have to take away 0.125. This is the volume of old cylinder, right? So we have 3 take away 0.125, okay, times 12 times 12. This would be 3 minus 0.125, okay, and times by 144. This is 414 pi. This is the volume of the old one, right? Now let me find the volume of a new one. When this volume is poured into a new cylinder, so it should be pi r square h, right? So this is pi, the radius we have to find, and the height is 18, and this should be equals to 414 pi, because this much volume is poured into the new one, right? So we can cancel the pi's on both sides. So the radius scale would be 414 divided by 18, and taking square root on both sides to solve for r. Divides 18 is 23, and square root of 23 is 4.79, or we can say r should be equals to square root of 23, and if I round it, it's just 4.8 centimeter is the radius of the new cylinder, right? Now for part C, the sphere is melted down and some of the metal is used to make 30 cubes with edge length 1.5 centimeter. Right, calculate the percentage of metal not used. The volume of a sphere we have given. Okay, so first let me find out the volume of a sphere, which is 4 by 3 pi, and the radius of a sphere is 3 cube. Right, now let me calculate this. We have 4 by 3 times by pi, and times 3 cube is 27, which is 36 pi, or we have 113.09 centimeter cube, right? Okay, so the sphere, this sphere, the volume of that sphere is melted down and some of the metal is used to make 30 cubes, right? Now what is the volume of cube? Volume of cube is length times length times length, which is 1.5 whole cube, right? So this would be 1.5 cube is 3.375 centimeter cube. Now let me find the volume of 30 cubes. This would be 30 times 3.375, right? So times by 30, this is 101.25 centimeter cube, right? So it means from the total volume of a sphere, this much is used. So we have to find the percentage of the metal which is not used, right? So percentage not used. Okay, so from the total 113.09 subtract 101.25, this much is used, dividing by the total 113.09 and multiply by 100 for the percentage, right? So 113.09 subtract 101.25 and divides 113.09 times by 100. This is 10.46. It is rounded to 10.5% of the metal is not used. Question number 4, part A. Number 1, enlarge triangle T by the scale factor 3, center is 0, 2. Okay, so we have a triangle T. We have to do an enlargement by the scale factor of 3, and the center we have given is 0, 2. X is 0 and Y is 2. This is the center, right? So for this, let me name the vertices. Let's say this is A, B, and C, right? So A, B, and C of the triangle, right? So for A, we have to find the distance of the vertex from the center, which is 1 unit to the right and 1 down. So this is 1 minus 1. And for B, we have 1, 2, 3 and minus 1. 3 and minus 1. 1 right and 3 right and 1 down. And for C, we have 1, 2, 3, 3 units to the right and 0 units vertical translation. Okay, so we have to multiply this by the scale factor, which is times by 3, times by 3, and times by 3, right? So we have a new A prime, which is 3 minus 3, and this would be B prime is 9 minus 3, and we have C prime, which is 9, 0. All right. So these are the new coordinates. Like we have to, from the center, we have to move 3 units to the right and 3 units down. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. This is the coordinate A, which is 3 minus 1, right? Now for 9 minus 3, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 3 down, 1, 2, and 3, which is 9 minus 1, right? The next is 9, 0. So 9 units to the right, which is just this point, right? So now let me draw the triangle T after the enlargement. This is the enlarged shape. Let me connect all the coordinates. Okay, this is the triangle T prime, we can say. Now for the second part A, rotate triangle T about 4, 2 by 90 degree clockwise. Label the image P. Okay, that image would be P. So we have to do a rotation about the center, which is 4, 2, and the rotation is 90 degree and it is clockwise rotation, right? This way we have to move. Okay, so we have 4, 2. First label the center. X is 4 and Y is 2. This is the center of rotation. Okay, so for this question, let me use the tracing paper. So let me trace the triangle T over here. And this is the center of rotation, right? So from the center, put the pointer on the center and rotate it 90 degree clockwise. Okay, this is 90 degree clockwise. So these are the coordinates now: 3, 3, 4, 3, and 3, 5. All right. So 3, 3, 4, and 3, and 3, 5 of the rotation. And we have to name this triangle as P. This is P, right? Okay, now for part B, reflect triangle T in a line x plus y equals to 6, label the image Q. Okay, so we have to do the reflection. So first we have to draw the line x plus y equals to 6. So we can draw the line by using, with the help of x and y intercept. So when x is 0, y value is 6. And when y is 0, x value is 6. So the x-intercept and the y-intercepts are 6 and 6. So this is the straight line. Okay, now we have to reflect the triangle T in this line, right? Okay, so now let me do the reflection. So this point we can say is 1, 2 from this, the distance from this line. So we have 1, 2. The new coordinate is 5, 3. And this point is 1. So we have 1, which is 4, 3. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This point is 5, 5. Okay. So we have to name this as a triangle Q. Right. Now for part C, describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle P onto triangle Q. So P onto Q, this is a reflection along a line x equals to 4. Right. Reflection along a line x equals to 4. Right, now for part B, the diagram shows triangle OHK, O, H and K, where O is the origin, the position vectors of H is A and the position vector of K is B. OH is A and OK is B. Z is a point on HK, right, such that H to Z, this is 2 and Z to K is in the ratio of 5, right? So H to Z, this is 2 by 7 of something and this is 5 by 7 of something, because the total is 7. 3, 5 plus 2 makes 7. Now find the position vector of Z in terms of A and B. Give your answer in its simplest form. Position vector of Z means we have to find what is OZ, right? So before OZ, first we have to find HK. HK is H to K follows the path of HO and OK. H to O plus O to K. H to O is negative A and OK is positive B, right? So this is B minus A. And this is also B minus A, right? Now let me find OZ. O to Z follows the path of OH and HZ. OH plus HZ, right? OH is A, HZ is 2 by 7 of B minus A, right? So this is A plus 2 by 7 B minus 2 by 7 of A, right? So 7 times 1 is 7 and 7 minus 2 is 5. 5 by 7 A and 2 by 7 B. This is the position vector of Z in terms of A and B. Question number 5, part A, expand and simplify. So let me expand this first. 2p square with the bracket 3p square minus 2 and negative 3 is multiplying with the bracket 3p square minus 2, right? Let me expand it further. 2 times 3 would be 6p4. 2 times 2 is 4p square minus 3 times 3 is 9p square and plus 3 times 2 would be 6, right? So this is 6p4 and 9 and 4. Minus 9 minus 4 is minus 13p square and plus 6, right? Part B, we have given S. Number 1, find the value of S when U is 20, V is 30 and T is 7. We have to solve for S. So it is 1 by 2, U is 20 plus V is 30 into the T value is 7, right? Let me simplify. So 20 plus 30 is 50 times by 7 and divided by 2, which is 175. So this value is 175, right? Now for second part, rearrange the formula to write V in terms of S, U and T. So we have to solve for V, right? So let me do the cross multiplication. We can say 2S would be equals to T into U plus V. 2S divides T, this would be U plus V, right? And from here 2S over T negative U, this would be equals to the V value, right? 2S over T minus U. For part C, factorize completely, number 1. Okay, so let me take T common from the first two terms and we are left with 2Q and minus 3, right? So from here let me take 2 common, or just 2, yes, plus 2 is common. So here we are left with 2Q and minus 3. Yes, the factors are 2Q minus 3 and T plus 2, right? Now for second part, x cube minus 25x, right? Let me take x common. So we have x square minus 25. So we have to use the formula of difference of scale, which is x plus 5 and x minus 5. So the factors are x plus 5 and x minus 5, right? Question number 6. A is the point 04 and B is the point 80. The line L1 is parallel to x-axis. L1 is parallel to x-axis, right? The line L2 passes through A and B. Number 1, write down the equation of line L1. L1 is parallel to x-axis, so this is just y equals to 4. This is understood, y equals to 4. Now for part B, find the equation of L2, giving your answer in the form of y equals to mx plus c. L2, it has the x-intercept, which is 8, and y-intercept is 4, right? So we can say, let me solve for m, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, the slope. We have the points A and B, right? 0 minus 4 over 8 minus 0. This is minus 4 over 8. And this is minus 1 by 2 is the slope, right? So now y equals to minus 1 by 2x plus c is the equation of line L2. Now we have to solve for c by substituting the point A or the point B. This is your choice. Let me substitute A. X is 0 and y is 4. So 4, this would be equals to 0 plus c. So from here we can say the c value is 4. Right, so the equation of line is y equals to minus 1 by 2x plus 4. Right. Now for part C, C is the point 2, 3. The line L3 passes through C and is perpendicular to L2. Number 1, show that the equation of line L3 is y equals to 2x minus 1, right? So it is perpendicular to L2, right? So we can say the slope of line L3 is perpendicular to L2. So its slope is minus 1 by 2. So this slope would be 2. So from here we can say y is equals to 2x plus c. And to solve for the c value, we have to use the point because it passes through the point C. X is 2 and y is 3. So 3 equals to 2 times 2 plus c. 3 equals to 4 plus c. And 3 minus 4 is negative 1. This is the c value. So here we can easily say that y would be equals to 2x minus 1. The c is negative 1. So it is proved that this is the equation of line L3. Now for second part, L3 crosses the x-axis at D. So it crossed the x-axis, it means the y component is 0, right? It has some x component and the y coordinate is 0. This is the point D. Now find the length of CD, right? So L3, we have equation of line L3, which is y equals to 2x minus 1. Now let me solve for x when y equals to 0. 0 equals to 2x minus 1. So from here, 2x should be equals to 1 and x is equals to 1 by 2. So we can say the point D is 1 by 2 and 0, right? And the point C we have given is 2, 3. Now let me solve for the length of CD, right? So the length of CD is square root of x2 minus x1 whole square, 1 by 2 minus 2 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square and its square root, right? Now let me simplify this. So 1 by 2 subtract 2 and its square is 9 by 4. 9 by 4 and we have 0 subtract 3, its square is 9. So we have 9 by 4 plus 9 and square root of answer. This is 3.354 or 3.35 is the length of CD. Question number 7. We have a universal set which is students in a class. P is students who study physics. C is students who study chemistry. Number of universal set is 24. Number of students study physics is 17. Number of students study chemistry is 14. And the number of students study physics and chemistry is 9. Number A, complete the Venn diagram. So P intersection C we have given is 9. Number of elements in C should be 14, right? So how can we make 14? So from 14 take away 9, 5 are left here. And number of students in P are 17, right? 17 take away 9 are 8 over here and the total should be 24. So 8 plus 9 plus 5 and 24 subtract 22. So the leftover are 2. Right. Now part B, number 1, find the number of students P intersection C complement. Right. So this is P and this is C complement, the region that is outside of C. Right. So we have this would be P and C complement is a region that is outside of C and its intersection. So this is just 8 is left. Okay, number 2, find the number of elements in P union C complement. P, right, and C complement is a region that is outside of C. And its union we have to calculate. So P and the region that is outside of C is this one. So 8, 9 and 2. You have to add 8 plus 9 plus 2 is 19. Right. Now for part C, 2 students are picked from the class at random out of 24 students, right? So total are 24. Find the probability that one student studies both subjects and one student studies chemistry but not physics, right? So one student studies both subjects. So 9 out of 24 is the probability of that student, times the other students study chemistry but not physics, so only chemistry, right? So this is 5 out of the total left are 23, right? Now let me just simplify. So we have 9 out of 24 and times it by 5 out of 23, 15 over, yes. And there is one thing I skipped here. So one student study both subject. Let's say the first student study both subject and the other one study chemistry, or the first student study chemistry and the other students study both subject, which is 9 out of 23. So it is a combination of two basically, right? So this would be the answer, and we have to times it by 2, with this would be 15 out of 92, right? Now for part D, 2 of the students who study physics are picked at random. Students who study physics are 17, right? So the sample space has total students 17. Find the probability that they both study chemistry. Okay, now they both study chemistry. So this is a sample space of physics. They both study chemistry are 9, physics and chemistry as well. So the first student study chemistry are 9 out of 17, and the other one study are 8 are left out of 16, right? So 9 out of 17 times we have 8 out of 16. This is 9 out of 34. So 9 by 34 is the probability. Question number 8, part A. Calculate the area of the triangle, which is half base and height. Half base is 12 and the height is 9. So now let me calculate. 12 times 9 divided by 2, which is 54 centimeters square. Right. Moving to part B. AB, A to B, this is 2x plus 3 centimeter, and H is x plus 5 centimeter. Area of a triangle ABC. ABC, this area we have given is 50 centimeters square. Find the value of x, giving to answer correct to 2 decimal place. You must show all your working. So we have the formula of area of a triangle, which is half base and height. The base is AB, which is 2x plus 3, and the height is x plus 5, and this we have given is 50. Right, now we have to solve for x up to 2 decimal place. Right. So let me simplify. So 2x times x is 2x square. 2x times 5, 2 times 5 is 10x, plus 3x, and 3 times 5 is 15, and 2 is multiplying with 50 would be 100. So this is 2x square plus 13x, and 15 subtract 100 is 85, negative 85. Okay, let me apply the quadratic formula here. So x would be equals to negative of b value plus minus square root b square minus 4ac divides 2 times of the a value. Right. For the simplification, x would be equals to negative of 13 plus minus square root. So we have negative 4 times 2 times negative 85, and add 13 square, which is 849 divided by 4. Square root of answer is this much. Okay, let me find the two values up to 2 decimal place. Right, so negative 13 plus square root of 849 and divided by 4. This is x is 4.03 up to 2 decimal place, and x value is negative of 13 negative square root of 849 divided by 4 minus 10.53. Okay, so since x we have to use in lengths x, 2x plus 3 and x plus 5, so it never be negative, so we have to consider the positive answer, which is 4 plus 4.03 centimeters. Question number 9, we have given the function f of x, a cubic function. Part A, find the gradient of the graph of y equals to f of x where x equals to 1. Gradient is f prime of x, which is equals to 3x square minus 2 times 3 is 6x. Now let me find f prime of 1, which is 3 minus 6, which is negative 3. Right. Now for part B, find the coordinates of the turning points of the graph of y equals to f of x. Turning points are basically the stationary points, and we can get the turning points by putting f prime of x equals to 0. So this is 3x square minus 6x should be 0. So taking 3x common, we are left with x minus 2 equals to 0. So x equals to 0 and x equals to 2. So these are the two x coordinates, right? So we have 0 and 2. Let me find the corresponding y coordinate, which is x cube minus 3x square and minus 4. Right. So we can say at x equals to 0, the y value is equals to 4, negative 4. Yes. And the next is when x at x equals to 2. Let me substitute the x value equals to 2 and solving for y. So y is equals to 2 cube, negative 3, 2 square, minus 4. Okay, so 2 cube is 8. 2 square is 4, and 4 times 3 is 12, negative 12, negative 4. 8 minus 12 minus 4 is minus 8. This is negative 8. So these are the coordinates of turning points of the graph of the function. Now for part C, sketch the graph of y equals to f of x. Okay, so f of x we have given, which is x cube minus 3x square minus 4. It's a cubic polynomial. So we can say its end behavior is opposite. It extends from first to fourth or second to third quadrant. Since the leading coefficient is positive, so the extension of graph is from second quadrant to third quadrant, right? And we have given the turning points. We already got the turning points or the stationary points, which are 0, negative 4, and we have 2, negative 8. Okay, so let me plot these points. X is 0 and y is negative 4 and negative 8 downward. Okay, so if I can say minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7, minus 8, negative 8, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is negative 4 we need, and the x values we need are 0 and 2. So this would be 1 and 2. This value is 2. All right. So let me sketch this graph. We have given that it's a cubic polynomial, so then behavior is opposite. The leading coefficient is positive, so the extension is from second quadrant to third quadrant. We have the turning point, which is 0, negative 4. This is the first turning point when the graph turn, right? And the other turning point we have is 2 and negative 8. To make it more clear, if I can consider this as 1 and considering this as 2, right? This is, let's say, 1, this is 2, right? 2 and negative 8. This point is the turning point. It has 2 turning points. So this is the extension in the third quadrant. This is another turning point in the second quadrant. So this is the shape of the graph. Question number 10. The diagram shows a quadrilateral ABCD. A, B, C, and D. Okay, AC we have given is 12.3 centimeter. A to D is 16.5 centimeter. and angle BAC, this is B, this is A, and this is C, is 31 degrees, and angle ABC, A, B, and C is 90 degree. ABC, this is a right angle triangle if we consider ABC, and angle ACD is also 90. ACD, this is a right angle triangle, this is a right angle triangle separately. Number A, show that AB is 10.54 centimeter. Correct to 2 decimal place. Okay, so AB, A to B, we have given AC. Considering the triangle ABC, a right angle triangle, A, B, and C, we have AC, we have the angle A, so the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. So we have to solve for adjacent using, it's a right angle triangle, so we can use the trigonometric ratios. We can use a ratio of cos. We can say cos of 31 degrees is adjacent side is AB, and the hypotenuse is AC, which is 12.3 centimeter. Right, let me solve for AB. So AB over here is 12.3 centimeter times by cos of 31 degrees. Okay, my calculator is already in degrees, so let me calculate cos 31 and times by 12.3. This is 10.54. Correct to 2 decimal place, yes, so it is correct, 10.54 centimeters. Okay, now for part B, show that the angle DAC is 41.80 degrees. Correct to 2 decimal place. DAC, where is DAC? D, A, and C, this angle. D, A, and C. Considering this a right angle triangle, okay, we have to find this angle. This side is opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. Again, using a ratio of cos. We can say cos of angle A, opposite, adjacent is 12.3, and the hypotenuse is 16.5. Right, and angle A should be cos inverse of 12.3 and 16.5. Right, so 12.3 divides 16.5, and cos inverse of answer, this is 41.80 degrees. Yes, up to 2 decimal place, 41.80 degrees. This is angle DAC. Right, now for part C, calculate BD. Okay, so B to D, this thing we have to calculate. For this, considering the triangle A, B, and D, we have AB from part A is 10.54, and we have AD, which is 16.5, and this angle A, we have this angle is 41.80, and if we combine this, we will get 41.80 plus 31 degrees, which is 72.8 degrees. This whole angle is 72.8. Right, so we have two sides, and the angle between them, we have to find the front side, so applying law of cosine over here. Right, so for law of cosine, if I can apply here, so that would be, we can say the side BD whole square, this would be equals to 10.54 whole square plus 16.5 whole square minus 2 times 10.54 times 16.5, and cos of the angle between them is 72.8 degrees. Right, simplify. Cos 72.8 times 16.5 times 10.54 times -2. Add 16.5 square and add 10.54. It's square. Okay, this is BD square is 280.488. So BD is square root of that thing. Okay. So square root of answer is 16.74 or 16.75, we can say up when we round it. 16.75 centimeter is dB. Right, now moving to part D, calculate the angle CBD. Okay, CB and D. We have C, B, and D. This. So here from part C, we have BD is 16.75. B to D, this is 16.75. Let me solve for BC and C to D, right? So for BC, we have to consider the triangle ABC, a right angle triangle. We have AC, we have AB, we can find for BC. So for BC, we have this angle is 31. This is opposite over adjacent, or we can use the ratio of tangent, or opposite over hypotenuse, use a ratio of sine, right? So here we can say sine 31 is BC over hypotenuse is 12.3, right? So let me solve for BC. Sine 31 and it's times by 12.3. This is 6.33. 6.33 is BC, right? Considering the triangle ACD is again a right angle triangle. We have AC, we have AD. Let me solve for this side. So opposite over hypotenuse, again we have to use for sine of this angle. We can say sine 41.80 degrees. This would be equals to DC over the hypotenuse is 16.5, right? So sine of 41.80 times 16.5, 10.99. This is 10.99. Okay, now considering the triangle B, C, and D, we have all the three sides. We have to find one angle. Let me draw this triangle separately. Okay. So if I can draw this triangle separately in a different shape, we can see. Okay. So this is B, this is C, and this is D. Okay, this is 6.33. This is 10.99. And this is 16.75. We have to solve for angle CBD. This angle we have to calculate, right? So we have all the three sides. We have to find one angle. Let me apply law of cosine over here, right? The front side of that angle is 10.99 square. This would be equals to the two sides, which is 6.33 square plus 16.75 square minus 2 times of the two sides and cos of angle B, we can say this, right? Now let me solve for that angle, which is 10.99 minus 6.33 square minus 16.75 square, and this thing is divided by minus 2 times 6.33, 16.75. This is cos B. Okay, 10.99 square minus 6.33 square minus 16.75 square, okay, divided by minus 2 times 6.33 times 16.75, 0.9424. So we can say B should be equals to cos inverse of this 0.94. We can say cos inverse of answer is 19.5 degrees. We can say 19.5 degrees. All right. Now for part E, calculate the shortest distance from C to BD. Okay. From C to BD. Okay, so we have to draw the shortest distance is the perpendicular distance, right? So the shortest distance is the perpendicular distance. Let's say this is X, so it should be perpendicular the triangle BCX. We have BC, we have the angle B, we have to find CX. So we have to find the opposite and we have adjacent using the ratio of tangent. So we can say that tan of that angle, which is 19.5 degrees, is opposite is the shortest distance, which is CX, over the adjacent is 6.33. So we can say that the shortest distance should be 6.33 and times by tangent of 19.5 degrees, right? Now let me calculate tangent of 19.5 and times it by 6.33, which is 2.24 centimeter, right? Question number 11, we have the function f of x, g of x, h of x, and g of x. Part A, find j of -1. J of -1 is -1 whole square, which is just 1. Right. Part B, find x when f of x plus g of x equals to 0. So f of x is 2x minus 1 plus g of x is 3x plus 2. This is equals to 0. So 2x plus 3x would be 5x and minus 1 plus 2 would be 1. This is equals to 0. So from here x would be equals to -1 by 5. Minus 1 by 5. Right. Now for part C, find g of x, giving your answer in its simplest form. G and g of x is 3x plus 2, right? And this is 3 into 3x plus 2 and plus 2. So this is 9x plus 6x plus 2. And we have, so 6, sorry. So 9x plus 8 is in the simplest form. Now for part D, find h complement f of x plus g complement h of x, giving your answer as a single fraction in its simplest form. Okay, h f of x is 2x minus 1 plus g h of x is 1 by x. Right. For this simplification, h of something is 1 over 2x minus 1 plus g of something is 3 into 1 by x plus 2. Right. So we have to simplify this further. So this is 1 over 2x minus 1, right, plus 3 over x and plus 2. So we have to take an LCM of x and 2x minus 1, right? And the LCM should be x into 2x minus 1. So 2x minus 1 is already present. We have x here. X is present, so 3 is multiplying with 2x minus 1 plus 2. Both are absent, so x is multiplying with 2x minus 1. Right. Let me do further simplification over here. So this should be x plus 6x minus 3 plus 2x times 2x. This would be 4x square, 4x square, and 2x is multiplying with 2x. 2x is multiplying with -1, so minus 2x divides x into 2x minus 1. So 4x square, 6 plus minus 2 is just 6 plus 1 is 7, and 7 take away 2 is 5, plus 5x -3 divides x into 2x minus 1. This is a simplified answer. Right. Now for part E, when p of x equals to x and p of x is a function such that p inverse of x equals to p of x. So this is a self-inverse function, right? The function and its inverse is the same. Draw a ring around the function that has this property, right? Self-inverse function, it should be a self-inverse function. F of x, g of x, h of x. This is a self-inverse function. H of x is a self-inverse function, right? The function h of x and h inverse of x stays the same. Okay, because when you say y equals to h of x, which is 1 over x, and switching the variables and solving for y, you will again get the same thing. All right. Now for question number 12, part A, sketch the graph of y equals to tangent x for x is between 0 to 360 degrees. All right. So let me start from 0 degrees. So tangent of 0, we have 0. So we have to check the behavior increase or decrease, right? So between 0 and 90, we can check at 45. Tangent of 45 is 1. And it means it increased. The y value is 1, right? So this would be the sketch, right? And tangent of 90 is undefined, so right. And let me check, tangent of 180 is again 0, right? This point. So between 90 and 180, we can take 120. Tangent of 120 is negative square root of something, so this should be downward. Okay, and between 180, tangent of 200, we can say is positive, so this would be the sketch. It passes to this point, right? And then tangent of 270 is also undefined, right? Between 270 and 360, we can say 300. Tangent of 300 is again negative, so, and tangent of 360 is 0, right? This point 0 to downward. This is a sketch. Now for part B, find x when tangent of x is 1 over square root of 3 for x is between 0 to 360 degrees. So from here we can say x should be equals to tangent inverse of 1 over square root of 3. It should be in degrees, right? Tangent inverse 1 divide square root of 3 is 30 degrees. X is 30 degrees. Okay, and by using cast rule, okay, CAST, tangent is positive in the first quadrant, which is 30, and in the third quadrant. Okay, so here we use theta, here we use 180 minus theta, 180 plus theta, and 360 minus theta. So in 180 add theta, we will get the next x value. This is 180 degree plus 30 degrees. The next x value we will get plus 180, this should be 210 degrees. So these two values belongs to the range between 0 to 360. So the x is 30 degrees and 210 degrees, right? So that was the last question of our paper. If you have any queries, please let me know in the comment section and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care.